first, and then the second most important second, and so on and so forth. So right, we'll continue on.
It's hard to get good at all.
$500, I think you'd be good. So we'll get 4 numbers called here. 29, 6 and 0 are the most important ones.
That's brilliant.
So the first one would have been a win. You could even, if you're betting high enough, you could just leave.
Right?
Oh, you caught out 18 before, yeah.
Sorry, how many numbers would you be covering? See the side of these numbers.
I would have to look at the chart.
Yeah.
24, 0, 9, I think. I think we're roughly covering 5 numbers per peak.
Right.
Well, does that mean you're putting on 15 numbers?
Let me tell you for sure. The first peak, optimal about, it's actually 6. See, two of these peaks overlap. So you've got 5 numbers. 10. The ideal situation would be to be betting about 10 numbers, which are right next to each other, almost perfectly. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 numbers. 11 numbers would be what you would probably do, but we're actually covering. I'll have to walk around with this to show you. That's our main peak there. Actually, grab around and grab a look there. So that's our main peak there. That's another peak there, and that's another one there.
Yeah.
That's our first one we're calling. I think that's the second one, and the third one. So not in order of priority. So in total, that is actually part of that peak there.
Right.
We can cover the entire half a wheel from there to there, and that's the low area.
Yeah.
So that's we'll get wins on almost every spin anyway. And so the edge is enormous. But if you want to really get technical and get the highest edge possible, you would bet individual peaks, but that's less practical because you don't always get time to bet all those numbers.
Really 4 numbers around each peak, you know? And that's where the dominance, vertical and horizontal, having a horizontal.
Yeah, well, they're actually being generated by the combination of the dominant diamonds and the ball speed when it falls. There's a lot of different variables. Is everyone understanding everything? Is it reasonably clear?
Not really, but yeah.
Usually takes the average person about an hour just to get hang of the clicking.
I'm a little bit confused as to you've got the 3 peaks there. Just go through, like if you've picked 18, 21, how many numbers around there would you cover? And yeah.
Well, in a typical missed the actual.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
There are. Yeah.
I'll just pass this around also. This is the racetrack again, and you see the dots on 3 different locations. Can someone tell me, was there any dot near 13?
My eyes aren't that good to be able to
Oh, okay, look, that's alright. No problems.
I think that one is fine.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, it's hard to fit the racetrack in the actual thing.
Exactly.
You just look at the location of the dot, that's 0, and 0's on the right-hand side. I'll look at it anyway.
Where 0's on the right hand side, 13, so mid-right. Yes, it is.
I take it after you've looked at it a million times, you'd also
That's 0
be a lot
right hand
easier to...
side, is it, Steve?
Yeah.
Right hand
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, it's right next to 13.
So he's probably looked at it that many times, he just...
If you calibrate over, say, 60 spins, and that's when, by the time you get reasonable peaks, then realistically, you're going to have to play over that many spins during the play period to get the same kind of edge that reflects the actual chart. Now, I'll try and explain that in a different way. You might, if you do calibration over 60 spins, and if you try and play over 5 spins, then anything can happen over 5 spins. It's just really short term. The idea is to get your profit and get out of the casino as quickly as possible in how many spins as you need.
It takes 5, awesome. If it takes 60, so be it.
Yep. One. 119.29.
Okay, so
Right at one.
got it. Could tell straight away.
So Steve, what you're saying basically is walk in the casino, figure in your mind that you want to win $1,000, win your $1,000 and walk.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
So
If
it's
you-
no different to in that regard, it's no different to just going out
And if you're walking a casino or
Walk,
whatever,
yeah.
$1,000.
it's knowing when to walk as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
If you find that you're taking more spins than you thought and you may be down a bit,
yeah.
then you're probably better off to walk anyway. Just consider the losses. Well, it all is in the long term anyway. You're going to make it back. You know that.
Yep.
So just accept the loss. If you find that the charts are not clear or whatever, then you might be missing something. Something may have changed. You might know. Maybe there's just a little too much dirt or grit on the ball track. There's a lot of different variables, but you're looking at a long-term advantage with anything in roulette. Anything gambling is long-term, and this is as short-term as you can possibly get it, with the exception of finding a much easier to beat wheel. That's
Yeah. Okay. So you walk in there, 60 spins, and if it doesn't look good, spend another hour and a bit to do another wheel.
Yep, we'll find different conditions. Yep.
So if a hard wheel is a 10 and an easy wheel is a 1, this wheel at the moment, where would this be sitting at?
The way it is now, with the dominant diamonds, with a horizontal diamond that's dominant, you've got a vertical that's about 120 degrees off. You're looking at around about 8, 9.
So it's actually quite a hard wheel.
Yeah, it is a hard wheel. Yeah. You notice the way the ball falls. That's not consistent.
What was that? What was that, high five?
I said 8.5.
Oh, the shot can work.
What numbers did it say there?
I was
Fraser said 8.4, so I said 9 when I got up there.
Yeah, we're actually getting risk called a lot more frequently than we normally will. That's because of the knee point position and when we're getting prediction.
Slippery fingers.
Could also be that sweat from the fingers can actually change the ball deceleration rate. It picks up 5, 26, 31.
Get a deal again.
So that would have been a win because of it within 5.
What was the number for?
26, yeah.
26.31.
Cover that. Yeah.
When you say when in 5, it goes maybe 2 prior and maybe 2 after. Is that right?
We'll come here.
Sorry, say that again.
If let's say they called out number 26, so in other words, you would actually bet 2 before 26 and 2 after 26. Is that right, or?
Oh, I don't follow what you mean.
Oh.
He's saying the numbers happens when you bet on.
How many numbers?
How would you-
well, each so it'd cover 26, 3, 35, 0 and 32.
Exactly.
So that 5 number
That's
up.
exactly what I
And then,
meant.
so can you do that for the, what was the other predictions? Do you remember what the other numbers were?
I
5,
missed it.
26.
Let's call it that. You bet on those. So, you bet
So
on
then,
those, you bet on those.
If
and
you're doing
make
3
those.
numbers, you could be betting up to 15 numbers.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, 3
yeah,
peaks.
yeah.
And yeah.
But-
We'll look at the next prediction and we'll see how many we'll
Yeah.
recover if we actually did it personally.